home a couple of yoga blocks, these little guys. Grab a pair of these so that you can use them for your practice. You don't need them necessarily. I'll give you options to use them or not use them, but they are really helpful if you are a complete beginner. Morning. So all you really need is your yoga mat, and we'll make a start. So we're going to come to start lying down. If anyone's got any injuries or anything, I will give you some things that you can do to adapt just in case. But everything we're going to go through today is pretty easy on the body. It's a really gentle practice, and everything we're going to go through will be in the beginner's guide that I launched yesterday. So all of these movements you'll be able to see in the beginner's guide. Hi everyone, thank you for joining. So whenever you're ready, let's make a start. We're going to start lying down onto our backs. And as we come to lie down, I want you to keep the knees bent. I want you to have the feet nice and wide. And as you come all the way back, just have your arms resting down beside you. So with your feet nice and wide, let your knees fall into the middle. And in doing so, it's just a little nicer for our lower backs here. So just press the arms down beside you and take a few moments just to get comfortable, and just a few moments to bring your awareness now onto your mat. As you just start to notice how you feel in the body at the start of your practice. And let's close the eyes if that feels comfortable. As you just start to notice the breath, also known as our pranayama, breathing is a big part of a yoga practice. So start to notice if your breathing is shallow. And then let's take a big deep breath in through the nose. Taking your time as you allow the lungs to fill up with air, bringing the breath all the way up the body. And then breathe it out through the nose. Nice long exhale, feeling the belly button draw back down towards the spine as you release and you let go. We're going to take a couple more of those calming breaths here. Now with that inhale, feel your belly inflate. So your belly button's going to reach up. As you move that breath into the heart space, hold it here, maybe just a few moments. And then let it go. Breathe it out through the nose. And with the exhale, maybe you start to feel your shoulders soften, relaxing into the mat. Feeling your arms relax beside you. Feeling more settled and perhaps a little more ready for your practice today. So as we go through our practice, just try to be mindful of the breath, remembering to breathe in and breathe out. Trying to keep the inhale and the exhales nice and long here. As we help the body and the muscles in the body relax. Now from here, you're going to slowly walk your feet to about hip width apart. So that's with your heels lined up with your sitting bones. Knees centered over the ankles and big toes point forward. So we're not turning the toes out to the side. Nice straight lines of energy. With the arms resting down beside, have the palms facing up. And we're going to start to warm up the glutes. So I want you to press through the heels and you're going to lift those hips up. As you feel the base of the glutes engage, reaching your hips up towards the sky. And it might be that you only lift a few inches, but maybe you get a little higher as you breathe in here. Try not to let the knees fall out to the side. And with that exhale, you slowly lower back down onto your mat. Connecting back to the earth. Let's do that again. We press through the heels, we rise up. Maybe this time you get a little higher. With your hands, just notice where you feel the muscles working here. You want to feel it on the base of the glutes, connecting all the way down to the heels of the feet. Exhaling all the way back down. So we're going to be doing some balancing in today's class. So that's why we want these glutes to be working. One more time. We rise all the way up. Really pressing through the heels. And then keeping the hips lifted, breathe into here, nice deep breaths. Can you lift the right heel up as you come onto your right toes? Now we switch, lift the left heel. Lower switch to the right. Lower switch to the left. And then bring it all the way back down, really strong. Extend your left leg out in front of you, and you're going to bring your right knee in towards the chest. Both hands around the right shin, hug that leg in towards you. Then with your left hand, place it onto your left hip, and notice if your left hip has started to lift, and just press that hip down. As you bring the hand back onto the right shin, just start to take the right knee out to the side, like you're trying to bring the knee in towards the armpit. So it's hugging out to the side, and we're just starting to get into that hip here. Left toes point up, again keeping that left hip pressing down. So this left leg is really nice and active. Nice deep breaths through the body, just starting to warm up that hip flexor here. Then let's show our feet a little love, circle around the ankle, wiggle through the toes of your right foot. Then with your left hand onto the right shin, take your right arm out to the side. We're going to add a twist. You're going to take a hold of that right shin with the left hand and take it all the way across the body over to the left edge of the mat. Now you'll notice that your right shoulder might want to lift off of your mat, so I want you to actively press your right shoulder down, even if that means your left leg lifts slightly. If your right leg is lifted, left hand to the right thigh, press it down. Breathing in here. So we're making it a little more active by pressing this right shoulder down. And this is really great for any lower back pain here. We're just starting to stretch out the back. Bring it all the way back up. We're going to switch. So you take your right leg out in front, and this time bring the left knee in towards you. Really hugging that leg in. Right hand to right hip as you take that left leg out to the side. Opening that hip here, just start to circle around that left foot, wiggle through the toes, and extend your right heel away from you. So this underneath leg is really nice and active. Hopefully you're still staying with that deep breath. Feel that breath move up and down the body. Right hand comes across to the left shin as your left arm comes out to the side. Let's take this left leg all the way over to the right as we come into this twist the other side. So again, notice if your left shoulder lifts. Bring that shoulder down, so we're really creating this active stretch along the back as we breathe into here. Nice deep breaths, and slowly come back up. Knees into the chest, take a few rocks forwards and backwards as you move up and down the spine. If this doesn't feel comfortable in your body, roll over to the side first before we make our way all the way up. So coming over now onto all fours, known as tabletop. You want to have the knees hip width apart, and you want to have your hands so that your wrists are either under the shoulders or just slightly in front if you've got really tight wrists here. And let's just circle around the wrists. If you are new to yoga, you will feel it a lot in the wrists as you begin. But over time, you can help that with some stretches and some strengthening exercises. Change direction, circle around the other way. And look at your hands. I want you to have your fingertips really wide as you press through the knuckles, press through the fingertips. Let's come back to our center. Now keep your tummies really tight as you draw the belly button in. We're going to lift the chest as you draw the shoulders back, lift the tailbone, and just let your gaze softly follow. So you're not trying to reach the neck up, you're just letting your gaze go to the edge of your mat. Exhale to round, pull the belly button in as you create your best hissing cat impression. Tailbone's tucked under. Inhale, lift and open the chest. Again, we're not leading with the chin. Breathe into here, sit bones wide. Exhale as we round. Now this is a really lovely exercise for you to do for the back. One more time as we inhale. And we breathe it out. Coming back to center, nice work everyone. Walk your hands forward. So your hands are in front of the shoulders, tuck your toes under. You're going to lift the knees up and take your hips all the way back as you feel that stretch across the back and the shoulders. And just start to pedal through the legs as we come into our first downward dog. Now downward dog is a really big pose, so just be gentle with your body here. Pressing through the index fingers and the thumbs. This is where you could use your blocks to modify, so bringing your hands onto your blocks. And at the end of your exhale, bring the knees down. Step your right foot inside of your right wrist. Big toe points forward, have your knee over the ankle as you bring your hands onto that right thigh. Let's push that thigh away. With your back foot, you can either keep the toes tucked under. If you feel reaching the arms up if that feels okay. Circle around the wrist. Nice deep breaths. Keep your gaze forward. Exhale, bring the hands down, tuck the back toes under, step forward. As we step up into our first forward fold. If you have your blocks, you can use your blocks to bring your hands onto. What I don't want you to do is this, where you're trying to keep the legs straight and you're rounded in the back. Instead, bend the knees, try to pull your belly down to the thighs as you bring your hands down. Relax the neck, relax the head. And keep the weight forward at the front of the feet. Inhale, lift the chest halfway. Straight line from the crown of your head to the tailbone. Exhale as we fold. Feeling that stretch down the backs of the legs and maybe the lower back. Inhale, lift in halfway. Great work, everyone. Exhale as we fold. Inhale to lift the chest, and this time bring the weight back into the heels as you bend the knees. Inhale, rise up. Reach the arms around you, palms together. Exhale, bring hands to heart. Inhale, arms reach around you. As we exhale, bring the arms around, hands to hips, keep the back straight. As we bend the knees, we fold. Releasing the arms down at the bottom. Step your right foot back, bring the knee down, then your left foot. So we're into this tabletop pose. I'm going to show you a variation of vinyasa that's going to be really easy and gentle on the body. Inhale, lift the chest for your cow pose. Exhale to round. Inhale back into downward dog. Breathe into here. Really reaching back through the hips. And exhale, bring the knees down. Let's go to the other side. Left foot inside of your left wrist as you come back into this lunge. Bring the hands onto the left thigh and push that thigh away. Feel this stretch in your right hip. Arms extend up to the sky as you breathe in, gaze forward. Nice deep breath through the body. Exhale, arms come around and down. You're going to take your back knee forward, back into that fold. As you pull the belly down to the thighs, relax the neck, relax the head. Have a little pedal with the legs here maybe. Inhale, lift the chest halfway. Exhale, back into that forward fold. And each time you might be able to find yourself getting a little deeper here into that fold. Inhale, lift in the chest, bend the knees. As we breathe out, press through the heels, reach the arms around you. Come all the way up. Bringing hands to heart. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, arms around you, hands to hips. Take it back into that forward fold. Releasing the arms at the bottom. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, step left foot back as you lower the left knee, then right foot back into tabletop. Our little vinyasa here. Inhale, lift the chest into that cow pose. Exhale to round. Inhale, back into downward dog. Breathe into here. Nice deep breaths. Now, eventually, at some time in the future, downward dog will feel a bit like a resting pose, I promise. I know right now it's a really strong pose. Keep pressing down through the index finger and the thumb and the knuckles, so we're taking it out of the wrist. And at the end of your next exhale, really send the breath out through the nose, maybe shake up the head a little bit here to release any tension, and slowly tiptoe the feet forward. Hips go side to side as we walk to the top of our mats. If that doesn't feel comfortable in your body, you can bring the knees down first. Now from here, inhale to lift the chest. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, arms around you, come all the way up. Exhale, bring hands to heart. Great work, everyone. So now we're going to come into a chair pose. So have a look down at the feet, and you want to have either feet hip width apart, which is 2 fists between the feet, or big toe joints together. It depends on what feels more comfortable in your hips. I prefer it hip width, but listen to your body and go with what feels comfortable. From here, weight back into those heels. Feel the same connection we did in that bridge pose where you root through the heels up to the glutes. So we sit back like you're coming into your favourite chair. We reach the arms out, tummy's engaged. Breathe into here. Exhale, come back up. Give the glutes a little squeeze at the top. 2 more times. Inhale, we reach back into chair. Exhale, come back up. Last one. Inhale it back into chair pose. Really strong, stay here. Exhale it out, come back up, hands to hips. From here, keep your gaze fixed somewhere that doesn't move as you come onto your right toes. This is enough, stay here. Otherwise, see if you can bring that right knee up. As you reach the toes up towards you, heel points down. Now, if you have a wall next to you, you can bring your hand onto the wall to balance. But we really want to challenge our bodies, challenge our minds with these balancing poses. Now, if we fix our gaze somewhere that doesn't move, that's going to really help us. Let's get into this hip here. You're going to take that knee out to the side, have a little circle in the hip. Notice how when we add that movement, it makes that balancing just a little bit harder. With a micro bend in this left knee, your right leg's going to come back into your first high lunge. And you can start with the foot quite close towards you as you get your balance right. But eventually, try and work this back leg further back so you're deep into this high lunge. Now I want you to notice what's going on with the back. A lot of the time we dump into the lower back by puffing these ribs out. So bring your thumb to your ribs, your fingertips to your hips, and try and squeeze in towards the middle. So you're feeling your core switch on here as you draw in. And notice how that's now straightened out slightly my lower back. If you need to bend the back knee slightly here, you can also. And then if it feels okay, add the arms. Just going to play with your balance slightly. So if it's too much, you can skip it and keep the hands on the hips. Breathe into here, nice deep breaths, doing so strong everyone. And we're going to take this into a warrior two. So your back heel, the right heel, is going to press down to the left. Your toes point out towards the right edge of your mat. So if you have a little look, your left heel lines up with the arch of your right foot. Now keep pressing down through that pinky toe. This right leg's really strong. Left knee over the ankles, we engage our core, extend the arms out. Looking over your left fingertips, breathe into here. This lovely hip opening pose. Nice deep breaths through the body. We're going to turn the left palm up. You're going to lean forward just slightly. The legs don't move, it's just the upper body. Then sweep your left arm up as your right hand comes onto your right leg. Just a little open here in the side of the body as we breathe. And back into warrior two, hands to hips, step forward. Roll through the legs here, great work. Let's do that onto the other side. So remember, we're going to fix our gaze somewhere that doesn't move. That's going to help us with our balance. Set the feet up, hip width or closer. As we sit back into those heels, reach the arms up for chair pose. Exhale, bring it back up. Great work, everyone. Inhale, maybe this time you get a little deeper. If you need to make it easier, just make it smaller. Exhale, come back up. We've got one more here. As we inhale, we sit back into that chair pose. And as we exhale, we come back up. Great work. Now we bring hands to hips as we come onto the left toes. If this is enough, stay here. I'm just giving you options, but you take what feels best in your body today. Bring the left knee in if you can, and let's flex the foot. So to flex means to point the toes up, heel points down. Now let's see if we can take that knee out to the side as we start to circle around the hip. Great work. Breathing into here. And then if you can, step that left leg back, and it might just be to here as you set yourself up. But see if you can go further back as you comfortably get into that high lunge. Set yourself up here. So remember, we want hips to ribs. You want to bring your right hip back and fraction left hip forward. So your hips are reaching out in front. Have a little peek at your right knee. Make sure it's not falling inwards. Nice and lined up with that second and third toes. We extend the arms up to the sky. Breathe into here. Nice deep breaths. Now we're going to open into warrior two. So we bring our left heel down so that the left toes point to the left edge of your mat. Extend the arms out to the side. Breathe into here. Nice deep breaths, everyone. We're going to add our reverse warrior where we get that lovely side stretch here. But if that's too much and you want to stay here, you can. Otherwise, turn your right palm up, reach forward. Reach that right arm over to the back of your room as your left hand comes down your left thigh. Breathe into those right ribs here. Nice deep breaths through the body. And then bring yourself back into that warrior two. We'll bring hands to hips here. We step forward, shake out through the legs. So we're going to take that balancing pose a step further now. We're going to bring it into a really popular yoga pose known as tree pose. So from here, bring the big ball joints of the feet together. Lift in all 10 toes, spread the toes nice and wide and press down through the feet. So you've got a nice wide base in the feet to help us with our balance. Have your gaze fixed and we'll start with hands to hips, which will make it easier. Come back onto your right toes and this time turn your right knee out to the side and feel that opening come from the hip. So you're opening this hip here as you bring your right heel over the left ankle. Now if you check the hip, what tends to happen is we do this. Bring this left hip in, tummy's in, and then see if you can bring hands to heart. So this is the first step in a tree pose. To go further, slide that foot up to the inside of this left calf. So you're pushing that leg into the foot and you're pushing the foot into the leg. If you want to go further, this is quite advanced. So only do this if you feel comfortable. You'll bring the heel to the thigh. Again, as you create that resistance, you're pressing towards one another. Keep that knee nice and open. Keep your gaze fixed, and then if it feels okay, add the arms. We reach up through the fingertips here, nice and long. Nice deep breaths, great work everyone. Exhale, bring the hands back to the hips, bring your right knee in front and place the leg down. Roll through the feet, roll through the legs. Let's do that the other side. So gaze fixed. We come onto our left toes this time, turn the knee out to the side, heel over the ankle. So this is the easiest version. Check your right hip's not popping out, so you bring yourself in. We can bring it up onto the calf, and if this is enough, stay here. Maybe you bring hands to heart. If you do want to go further, you can bring the foot to the right thigh as you press together. Extend the arms up as you breathe in here. Nice soft chin as you keep your gaze fixed. Great work, everyone. Let's release that leg. Kick out those legs. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. As we exhale, bending the knees, keep the back nice and long as we take it down into that forward fold. Bring the hands down at the bottom. Inhale, lift the chest halfway. And exhale, step one knee back and then the other. Take your knees nice and wide, bring the feet together. We're going to come into a real resting pose now. Sit bones all the way down to the heels of the feet. Now, if you've got anything going on with the ankles and the knees, you can do this lying down on your back. Otherwise, extend your arms forward and bring your forehead down onto the mat. As you do that, keep pressing down through the hands and feel that lengthening along the spine here. So this is a really great pose to do to stretch out the back. You can do it just before you come to bed in the evenings, you can do it in the morning. Anytime you're feeling a little pressure in the lower back, you can give it a nice little stretch. As we breathe into here, nice deep breaths. And then when you're ready, you'll just slowly walk the hands in as you come back up. Now, as you go into a normal yoga class, if at any point you want to take a rest, you can come into child's pose at any time. It's kind of like a timeout card that you can pull any time in a yoga studio. Okay, let's extend the legs out to in front. Let's give them a nice little shake here. We're going to give the backs of our legs a nice stretch. So point your toes up to the sky. Heels reach forward. If you're very tight in the back legs, maybe you've done a lot of online workouts this week, have a bend in the knees here. Shifting the glutes so you're onto those sitting bones. Bring the fingertips behind you. We inhale to lift the chest. And as you exhale, you slowly start to lean forward. You don't want to round here and lead with the chin. You want to keep that length and just gently lean forward. You're hinging from the hips, so your back stays nice and long. And if it feels comfortable, maybe straighten out that right leg, maybe the left. keep the tummies engaged, and only if it feels okay, maybe you start to walk the hands out forward. But not if it means you're doing this, where you're straightening the shoulders here in a bit to try and touch your toes. Just go wherever feels comfortable, and it might be that here feels the most comfortable. As you breathe into the body, really enjoying that stretch in the back of the legs. Not going too far here. And this is where the breath is a very useful tool. So when we lengthen that exhale, we can use that exhale to help us lean a little further. We use that inhale to lengthen, breathe it out, go deeper. One more breath here, wherever you are. And very gently bring it all the way back up. Great work, everyone. Now from here, let's stretch out those glutes. We're going to come to lie onto our back, so bending the knees, feet onto the mat, extend your arms forward. Drop the chin to the chest and very slowly roll it all the way down through the spine as we bring ourselves all the way back onto our mats. And from here, you're going to keep the feet, knees bent, lift your right leg up, cross your right ankle onto the left thigh and keep your right toes reaching back towards the knee. You'll use your right hand to push that right thigh away and just start feeling this stretch here in the right hip. If this is enough, then this is where you'll stay. But if you do feel like you want to take this stretch deeper, bring both hands around either the left thigh or the left shin and bring the legs in towards you. The shin will be the deepest stretch. But make sure you're not doing this when you're lifting the head up, lifting the shoulders up in a bit to get into this stretch. Yoga isn't a competition, it's not a sport or a race. It's just you want to enjoy it. You don't want to feel like you're overexerting yourself to get into the most complicated pose. Just go wherever your body feels good. And with every exhale, just feel your body soften into this stretch a little bit more as you almost just relax and surrender into it. Feeling that stretch all down the right glute. Breathing in here, let's slowly release the legs. We'll take that stretch the other side as you bring your right foot down, cross your left ankle over the right thigh. Keep those toes reaching back as you push that left thigh away from you. Again, if this is enough, stay here, and you will feel different on each side of the body. Otherwise, hands around the right thigh or the right shin, bring the legs in. Nice deep breath. So when you're new to yoga, it's really difficult to remember the breathing as well as the postures. So don't worry about it if it doesn't feel natural to you. Rather than worrying about all the different breathing techniques that there are available to you, just begin by becoming more aware and conscious of the breath. Gently reminding yourself that when you are balancing, the breath will help us. Because sometimes when we balance or we're trying to hold a difficult pose, we hold our breath in a bit to just try and stay as still as possible. When actually you want to focus on deepening the inhale and exhalation even more to stay longer in the pose. Release here. Bringing both knees in towards you, gently rock it side to side, giving that lower back a nice little massage. And then rolling onto your favourite side, bring one hand down as you slowly roll all the way up to seated. If you have a block or a cushion nearby, I'd advise sitting onto one just so you're not completely squashed down onto the mat. You've got a little bit of space here in the lower back. Have your legs however feel comfortable for you. I've opted for cross-legged, but if that doesn't feel nice, flip your legs forward, you can be kneeling. Yogi's choice. Let's just finish the class with a little bit of mindfulness here. We're going to bring the hands resting down, just helping us to ground as we bring the palms onto the thighs and we close the eyes. Taking a few moments to notice the energy around you and within you. As you begin to notice how you feel now at the end of your practice. Taking a deep breath in through the nose, feel the belly expand. As you draw that breath up the body, And then let it out through the nose. And with that exhale, let your belly and your guts hang free here. Relax the shoulders, letting your arms become heavy. Softening the muscles around the jaw as we unclench the teeth. As we allow ourselves to completely let go. We allow ourselves to surrender. Thinking about only this moment. When you're ready, slowly bring hands to heart, keeping the eyes closed here. And take a moment here to feel gratitude. Feeling grateful for our bodies, for the practice that we just did. Feeling grateful for who we are and where we are in this moment. We're safe, we're healthy. And let us bow our heads in this gratitude as we close our practice today. Namaste. Coming out of this pose, hopefully feeling nice and relaxed, ready for the day ahead. Any little stretches your body might need here as you come to.